I believe the agreement I was told is that I have 15 minutes, and I'm being told I have 10. So either you can agree that I have my 15 minutes, or I will not speak at all.
Is it 10 or 15? 15.
What says the crowd? I like to use my hands, so I'm not really going to use this mic. Can you all hear me? Yes. Lovely. Evening, everyone. Evening. When I first saw this event advertised on Facebook, it had my picture with these glaring capital letters saying, Dalian Adofu says shun religion, etc., etc. And for me, that's slightly unsettling, because I'm not that fundamentalist about anything, to be honest. The very issue myself and many others have against organized religion is this prescriptive imposition on what it assumes is right for everyone. It would be hugely hypocritical for me to hold such a stance, and I had to speak to the organizers about this to change the manner of my representation. In African spirituality, we recognize the Creator's imprint or essence in all things. Therefore, it's never an us versus them approach. This does not mean that I exempt myself from passing commentary on whether any of these religions have any usefulness for Africans, especially when we can see clearly how they are increasingly becoming impediments to African progress and development. Rather than the upliftment of its people, what we see are barriers preventing cooperation for mutual benefit and the creation of this mental psychosis that promotes a subservient attitude towards other lighter-skinned peoples and expressions of self-hatred, particularly regarding its ancestral traditions. We also see how it inhibits the development of personal potential by restricting the exploration of self, whereby people are resorting to seeking salvation externally rather than doing for self and with community. I repeat the three main impediments that religions are fostering in the mind of the African or the black. It prevents wider cooperation for mutual benefit. It develops a subservient attitude to mainly lighter-skinned races. And low self-esteem that hinders us socially, economically, and politically. Note that everything I'm about to cover does not just apply to Christianity, but all the religions linked to the mythological figure named Abraham. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. But due to the lack of time, and of course the panel being made up mainly of Christians, this is where explicit examples and towards. But it equally applies to all the others as well. They say an image is worth 1,000 words, a statement not to be taken lightly, as that really is the basis of all the impediments I've just mentioned. Whether we know this or not, it's images that shapes our reality. So we have this character we now refer to as Jesus Christ. He started off as being the son of the Christian God, and is now more or less a synonym and interchangeable with his own father. Started off blonde, blue eyes, and then gradually, as the Aryan concept of superiority started getting flat due to Nazi ideology and pro-right nationalism and the like, his looks have conveniently changed. Now, what we do know for certain is he was painted by Leonardo da Vinci, and what we are certain about is that he either painted a relative of his or an Italian nobleman of the time, Caesar Borgia, or as some others will contend, Seraphis from ancient Egypt. Now, in all this confusion, what we know for a fact is that with all these representation, no one really knows what he looks like. So why is he still in the church? One of our esteemed scholars, either Henry Clark or Dr. Ben, stated that the day the European image of Jesus is removed and placed with a black one in churches, most black folk will go to church, will stop going to church. I agree. Do you?
Oh, no.
See, the same power we associate with an image, we extend to those who resemble it. This is Psychology 101. It explains the difference with which we treat white people in contrast to ourselves. Whether it's getting off a plane in the Caribbean or Africa and the rush to carry the Europeans' badge rather than ours, or the OTT smiles and favors extended to them in our shops or restaurants. You think this image has nothing to do with it? This image has occupied most of the households we've grown up in, the most important area. So psychologically, we've all grown up to afford it respect. No question about that. It's so embedded, we're not even conscious of it. Now let's look at what the actual Bible has to say about false representation. Exodus 24-16. You must not make for yourself an idol or any kind of image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God who will not tolerate your affection for any other God. I actually found over 25 of these verses on a Christian website that, funnily enough, seems to be attacking Catholicism for its representations of Mary, but not one word about the many faces of Jesus. But we won't get into that in-house fighting because that's not part of this debate. So it's absolutely laughable when Christians are the one accusing spiritualists of being idol worshippers. It must take one to know. So, even though the point of correction is this, we don't have any idols in African spirituality, period. They try to conflate their concepts with African spiritual principles when they are not the same. Similar is not same. When the Asian earthquake happening, how many black Christians were online agreeing with this deranged evangelist Pat Robinson, who claimed it was a result of the pact with the devil? If they were that ill-informed, they'd know there's no such thing as Satan or devil in the traditions. The concept of evil, yes, but not some being as powerful as the same God that created it. So instead of being willing to help their brothers and sisters, their response pretty much was, serve them right. What does Matthew 25 verses 40 tell us? And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done unto the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So where was this support? Because at the time when it's claimed Jesus was alive, there was no such word as Christian, right? So who do you think the brothers there refer to? It refers to everyone. Yeah? So I guess we can say some Christians don't actually know their Bible or their history. Yeah? It comes 2 minutes. It's literally less than 10 minutes since I started. Robin started 30 past. I have at least 7 minutes. Thank you. So, because of their assistance, what they used was evangelicalism as a weapon. Either you convert and accept this Bible in my hand, or you get no food. Does this sound like altruism to you, or plain and simple blackmail? Yet look at the outpouring of assistance and support given to the so-called Christian Yazidis when ISIS was brutalizing them. If anyone had done their homework, they would have also found that the dominant traditional religion of a majority of them is God as a peacock. This is why the majority of Muslims hate them, because they deem them as pagan too, simply because of some passages in the Quran. Yet because the media has reported them as solely Christian, they are deemed worthy of support from black Christians, but not those who are their own brothers and sisters in Haiti. So remember the first point I made about disunity and lack of cooperation. Can you see in action? Okay. Religions are creating a gang mentality that prescribes that if you're not in it, then you burn in hell. What happened to love thy neighbor? Now, I want you to look at the book, this book that was handed in my house the other day, November 16 edition from Jehovah's Witness. Look at the people depicted in heaven.
That's right.
The powerful everywhere, yeah? Can you see anything disconcerting here? There's not a single black face in heaven. Yes? If this was a government publication, we'd be screaming racism and marching all over the place. But look, there's a space for even animals in the book. But look where we find the one black person, the back.
Thank you very much.